Hello guys and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. Today we'll be driving the SU-122-44. It's a tier 7 Russian tank destroyer, and it's a premium tank destroyer which is probably one of the best premiums at tier 7. As you can see, the map is Siegfried Line and we are playing on the assault game mode. We are on the defending side, so we'll be taking the position on the C8, C9 and try and defend the base from here. So this position is very good for stopping the enemy advance on the A line, because you can basically shoot them from the bushes and not get spotted by them. But there is a problem, as you can see on this map. None of the spotters has gone to the position on the A7 to spot anything, so I will not have any shots from here. If we had any spotters on the positions on the ridge line, we could have seen these tank destroyer and this heavy tank before they started crossing and be prepared to shoot them. But now we have to make a move by ourselves and go and try and kill these enemies that are advancing to the city. Now the enemies have great position on the F6 on the small street, and they are pushing in on the city. Also they have taken the position on the E6, E5, and I will be trying to stop them from advancing further. Now I had a great shot there on the KV-85, and the rate of fire allows me to put great shots in the ARL and the KV-85. So I take a blind shot on the Panther, the premium tier 7, but I don't know if I hit him. So the positioning I'm taking here is very risky because there is an artillery in the enemy setup, and if he tries to focus me, I'm on the open ground and I will be probably dead. So this Panther M10 is trying to put some pressure on me, but as you can see, the rate of fire on this tank is so good and the armor is more than enough to bounce the 75mm on the Panther. So the rate of fire of the gun is excellent. You have around 7.5 rounds per minute when you don't equip your crew and the equipment for the reload. When you have everything equipped, you can get up to 4000 DPM, which is pretty crazy in tier 7. So being a premium tank, on tier 7 this tank can actually see tier 9, but the gun that you have is the gun that you would basically have on the IS. It's the 122mm 175mm penetration, 390 damage standard Russian gun. So if you can play tier 9 with the IS, you can certainly play tier 9 with this tank as well. So I'm still playing aggressively here. The enemy tanks have pushed into the city and I have to defend from this side. What I usually like to do on this map is go to the A6, A7 and start cleaning the enemies from there. So this IS is using the small gun and I am willing to trade with him, but as soon as I spot the tank destroyer in one shot, I fire at him first. So as the IS is using the small gun, he is not able to go through the armor of my tank destroyer. So this tank destroyer has been built on the chassis of the T-44, and basically it's the T-44 armor and mobility with a gun of 175mm of penetration. So what am I doing here now is not trying to get flanked by the KV-2. I get a really bad shot by the KV-2, he was firing HE shells and there is nothing I could do about it. I had to take those 300 to 400 damage. Now I'm not so keen to get out on the in front of the IS, because from these distances he can penetrate me. When he is firing on the top of my tank destroyer, I'm not too worried, because the armor is kinda better on the top. But when he is firing on the lower part of my tank, he can still penetrate me. And basically in this tank destroyer, you do not have to fear of the tier 5 and tier 6 tanks, as they will mostly bounce on your armor. So the game is going very well for me. I have 6 kills. I have killed the IS, and what am I trying to do now is find the small scout that was behind me killing the artillery. So I want to kill the scout first because I don't want to get flanked by him, but flanking this tank destroyer is kinda hard because the traverse speed is very good. So only downside of this tank is the view range on the tank destroyer, which is around 330 meters, which is not enough for you to spot for yourself, so you have to rely on your team to get some spots. Or you would use binoculars and camo net as I'm using here. I'm using the camo net and the camo screw because this tank has really crazy... Sorry, let me just see what will happen with this AMX. He shoots my gun, but as you can see, he doesn't have enough speed to traverse around my tank, and I kill him for the 7th kill. So I was talking about the camouflage on this tank. It is probably one of the best in the game, as this tank didn't get the camo nerf of as all of the other tank destroyers got in one of those previous patches. So I finished my 7th tank and I'm going for this Churchill 7. He stops in a very awkward position for him because when I shoot him I also tracked him and he is on my mercy. Now he is dead, and that's my 8th kill. I got my Radley-Walters now, and it would be nice to find the artillery and kill it. So while I'm searching for the artillery, I will say a couple of more things about this tank. I like to use the crew from any other tank destroyer in the Russian line because you can use the crew on the premium tank, as you well know. And I use the crew that has Brothers in Arms, that has all of the stuff that helps you aim better and that helps you shoot when you traverse your tank. Also, I'm using the gun rammer because I feel that putting the gun rammer and the Brothers in Arms and the ventilation would make this tank really good, but without the view range or without the camouflage you're not really a tank destroyer. So I opted to go with the gun rammer and don't use the ventilation, but instead I use the binoculars and the camo net. Using ventilation on this tank would give you a little bit more reload, but I really don't feel that you need it in tier 7. So would I recommend for you to buy this tank? I would say yes, because in tier 7 this tank is a beast. You have basically 4000 DPM if you put everything for the reload time on your crew and your tank, and 4000 DPM in tier 7 is really OP. And the armor, as you saw there, is basically good enough to withstand any shots from tier 6 and 7 and from small calibers at tier 7. So one problem that you could have with this tank is when you get to tier 8 and 9, because 175mm is basically not enough to go through all of the tanks at tier 8 and 9, but when you have the mobility of this tank, as you see here, you can basically play it as a flanking tank destroyer and not to go into engagements frontally with your enemies. So I'm looking for this artillery for quite some time now, and because the time is over, it looks like I will not find it. That's GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. So I had an excellent game here and got a couple of medals like Fire Forfeit, Shellproof, Duelist, Bruiser, a Radley-Walter's medal for 8 kills, Steel Wall medal for bouncing a couple of shots, Top Gun medal and a High Caliber medal. And of course the Mastery badge Ace Tanker. On the team score sheet you can see that I finished first with 1632 experience. That is more than double from the second guy in my team. I also did 4414 damage and got 8 kills. On the detailed report you can see that I fired 25 shots, of which 17 hit the target and 16 penetrated. Now in tier 7 that I was playing in, you can see that 175mm is more than enough to go through any armor, but the accuracy of the gun didn't allow me to put every shell where it should be. And I also got a profit of 80,000 credits, not firing any gold shells because I really didn't need to. Thank you all for watching. If you didn't like the video, drop a dislike or leave a comment how I can improve the channel. And if you liked the video, hit the like button, share and subscribe for more content, as it really helps me out a lot. And also don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Google Plus to get the new content first, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And if you're wondering what to watch next, hit the little I button in the top right corner and it will lead you to another video. See you guys next time.